India. We're talking about a massive market, an absolutely incredible talent pool, and for so many businesses, it's that next big frontier for growth. But what if? What if you could tap into all that potential without the legendary administrative headaches? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into a modern, much simpler way to build your team in India.
So let me just ask you straight up. Are you thinking about building a team in India? Maybe you've already found the perfect software developer, or a brilliant sales lead, or you're thinking about an entire customer support team. The talent is definitely there, but how do you actually, get them on your team? And that question brings us to this classic dilemma. The dream, of course, is all about getting that top-tier talent and kicking your global growth into high gear. But the reality? Well, the reality often feels like hitting a brick wall of complicated entity setup, trying to figure out a maze of local labor laws, and just a huge administrative burden that pulls you away from what you should be doing. So let's just call this what it is, the India Expansion Challenge. Because look, while the opportunity is absolutely immense, those hurdles are very, very real for companies trying to hire from abroad. Here's the bottom line on the traditional path. It's everything you see here. It is slow. We're talking months of navigating bureaucracy. It is expensive, draining your budget before you've even hired anyone, and maybe worst of all, it's a massive distraction. It pulls your focus from your actual business and gets you bogged down in administrative red tape. But what if there was another way? A way to get all the benefits of that dream without the nightmare of the reality? Well, there is. Let's talk about a much simpler way to hire, and it's called the Employer of Record, or EOR model. So what in the world is an employer of record, or EOR? It's pretty straightforward, actually. It's a partner organization that legally hires employees for you in another country. Think of them as your on-the-ground expert in India. They handle all the complicated local stuff, HR, payroll, benefits, and making sure you are 100% compliant with Indian law. I love this analogy. This is the perfect way to think about it. You're not trying to build a whole new corporate structure from scratch in a foreign country. You're basically renting a fully equipped, pre-built, and totally compliant local HR and legal department that is ready to go from day one. It's genius. Okay, so it sounds great in theory, but how does this PEO or EOR model actually work in practice? Let's walk through the mechanics. You'll see it's a surprisingly simple framework for hiring globally. It really just boils down to 4 easy steps. First, you find your amazing candidate. That part's still on you. Second, your PEO partner in India legally employs them under their local company. Third, and this is super important, you manage their day-to-day work, their projects, everything. They are your team member. And fourth, your partner handles all the back-end stuff, payroll, taxes, the whole shebang. This little table breaks it down perfectly. Look, your company keeps full operational control. You manage the tasks, the performance, the deliverables. You are completely in the driver's seat. Meanwhile, your PEO partner handles the official legal employment, the payroll, and all that tricky compliance stuff. It's a perfect division of labor. All right, so let's cut to the chase. What does all of this actually mean for your business? Well, it really comes down to 3 huge things: speed, safety, and focus.
Now, I want you to just look at this number. 1. What on earth could the number 1 possibly represent in the complex world of international employment?
It stands for ultimate simplicity. You get one single consolidated monthly invoice. That is it. All the complexities of salary calculations, tax withholdings, benefits administration, it's all bundled into one predictable payment. No surprises. So this really brings us to the key advantages, right? You can build your team in India fast, you completely skip the whole complex entity setup process, you're guaranteed to be fully compliant with local labor laws, and maybe best of all, you get to focus your time and your energy on your actual business, not on becoming an expert in Indian employment law. So the big question is this for you? Is this a good fit for your company? Let's take a look at the kinds of businesses that really get the most out of this approach.
So have a look. Does your company profile match up with what we're about to see?
This PEO model is an absolute game changer for businesses in the US, the UK, and Europe that want to tap into the Indian market. It's perfect for any company that wants to sort of test the waters in a new market without a huge upfront commitment. It's built for organizations already expanding globally, for teams building offshore support, and especially for those fast-growing companies that just need to move quickly. And that brings us to our final thought. I really want to leave you with this question. If you could just remove all of that traditional friction, all the red tape, all the administrative borders. What could your business truly achieve with direct access to the world's best talent? Think about that.